Appreciate you a lot. And probably, no better transition into the time to rally theme that that Spivey was calling us to again from the founders, just because Carl Miller, associate partner, is going to be on in a few minutes with key leaders Shauna Berrigan, Travis Lloyd, and Rad Grant Lieber, the pickleball master extraordinaire. Carl, man, you want to give us a quick highlight, bro?
Absolutely, man. Todd just said it. It's all hands on deck, and that means a lot of leading from the front. And I couldn't think of three better people to come on this call and let them pour into Symmetry Nation on exactly how you do that as a producer builder. That's what they all are. Yeah. Producer builders that are leading from the front, man.
Well, we're excited to have you and grateful for you. I'll share a little bit more about you in a few minutes, but Mr. Ditson, man, just be ready. I might be calling on you to share the love here as we go through these leaderboards. How does that sound?
I'm always ready. Come on now.
I know you are. How's your day been going?
That's great. It's awesome. Wednesday. It's great Wednesday. A lot of great calls ahead too. So.
All right. Well, let's do this. We're going to go for the most efficient but clear leaderboards and announcements that have been done in the last 3 weeks. How's that? All right. All right. Top 10 new writers. We got William Nevis at 49, Zach Lee 52, and Marie Borge Harris at 13.5 on the first top 10 list. It's a great week. Absolutely.
Oh, great first week.
Yeah, top 10 new writers in APV. We got Ronald Spriggs, Adria Ferrer, and Courtney Stone, just eking it out there. Top 10 producers, Kaylin Tech, Gabe Ross, and I'm just Joshua Quillen, just quilling over there. That's nothing quilling about 43K.
Not at all.
We got top 10 producers for App Count, Jake Van Duzen, your boy Ditson, you know that guy, Monique Al-Rawi, and Sean Pierce, 22 apps. And we've got for top med stuff, we got Garza, Ray Smith, and John Berlin coming in at 27.36. All right, crush the next couple here, Ditson.
We've got number 3, it's Gurmeet Singh, Patricia Walker at 2, Erica Mercado at 1.
Outstanding. Top 5 IULs, go for it.
We've got Cynthia Landros with 18,134, Daniel Millett at 20,092, and Josh Quillen again, 29,418.
There you go. And top 5 annuity producers.
Look, Josh Quillen, number 3 at 419,315. Surprise, surprise. Eric at 425 and Lila Garza at 447,445.
I see what you did there with ignoring that NOR bomb. It's not that hard, Ditson. No worries. Top five DFLs, Mr. Roddy Jessup, Marie Borge Harris, and Richard Ross at 14,496. New riders in the base. How about James Larson, Mr. Rob Puckett, and Jamie Susie? What do they call it? I've heard like too many. Susical, Susie.
Oh yeah, Brandon, I had one for it. I can't even remember now what we came up with. I'll think about that. Jamie texted me what we came up with you. I can't remember.
Jamie Dr. Susie. All right. And on the directs, Mr.
Purdy. It was Susie Q. I think instead of Susie Q, it was Susie Q. I don't know if she liked that.
All right. I can't remember. That's a good one. All right. Top directs, we got Puckett and Purdy tied at 5, Scott Mank and Jamie Susie at 10. SNAs, 17 AOs at 1, and Sarah Reinecke coming in strong with 3. And we've got 15 directs, Mr. Chris Cook and Sarah Reinecke for the top directs. And I'm going to take the SNA list and I'm going to give you whatever's next, Ditson, because I just have a SNA last name gift today. I'm feeling
it. There you go.
We have, now these are 6 apps in 6 weeks. You are setting yourself up for great success here from our data. And we have Ballin, Poletti, Reck, Donlin, McCallum, Rowe, Grantham, Haggard, Perry, Cash, Lawrence, Alvarez, Barr, Woolard, McGuire, Zona, Gale, Thorson, Gonzalez, and Ronaldo. Congratulations to our SNAs. Well-deserved hard work getting you to that spot. All right, you are up to bat, Mr. Ditson.
All right, top key leaders. We've got Jennifer Gray, 21,062, Jasmine Pearson and Sue Ineos, 27,930. RTWs, Kristen Mothershead, and new riders, Kristen Motherhead, Sue, and Ann Davis on number 3. That looks like Nicolas Cage, but
it does.
That's
what happens when you don't have a profile pic submitted to HQ. For our agency owners, Mr. Hockey himself, Alec Meyer. There's Lee Jedlika. Good to see you up there. And Joshua Quillen. For APV for the week for AOs, Ashley Richard at 5 RTWs, Jerry Choate and Dan Barnes, the runner I learned today from the Q&A. He loves running as well. And Miss Alexandria Nolan, Aaron McLean. Oh, we got a whole slew of new writers for Ashley Richard, Amanda Rudloff, Alexandria Nolan, Aaron McLean, Aaron Avedon, all across the board. It was like the 1-1-1 lotto there. Pick it up for me, Ditson.
All right, Agent Director, APV, Sarah Reinecke, Larry and Ann Griffin, and Ben C4. RTWs, we got Mark Newbauer, Sarah Reinecke, and Ben taking number 1, and then James Larson on new riders, number 3, Ben and Sarah at number 1 with 11 new riders.
Tough loss for Ben Safapor's Dallas Stars last night.
Almost got what, a turkey? Is that what we call it?
He almost did have a turkey. He's looking strong there. Dallas Stars just got crushed by the Vegas Golden Knights. So sorry, Ben. Man, that was a good game.
Is that a sports ball reference? Not familiar.
Oh, yeah, hockey. Let's go. All right, how about for our regional agency directors, Mr. Menifee, Marty Valor, and Dave Alvarado at the top of the leaderboard with 155. Mr. Puckett tied with Mr. Trey Alderson Cloutier. For RTWs, Jamie Susie at number 2, Marty Valor at 17 RTWs. And for new writers, Puckett and Marty Valor tied. See what I did there? I keep changing it. Valor, Valor. When you're in the flow, it just never know what's going to happen. It's tough. Christopher Menifee with 4 and Jamie Susie blown it out of the water with 10 new writers. How about some managing vice presidents? John Ziller, Chris Cook, Griff Martin, Marvelous Marlon Faulkner, Christopher Clark, Chris Cook for Ready to Writers, and Jordan Hunt and Chris Cook. We got to go across the board to honor my word there. Esther Carlson at number 3, tied for number 2, Hunt, Ziller, Cook, and Mr. Martin coming in with 3 new writers. SVP is over to you, Ditson.
Spillner, number 3 in APV, Nate, number 2, and Tony Capistrano, number 1. RTWs, we've got, looks like Janet and George Matthews. Well, we've got a little bit of a tie here. So we've got Tony Capistrano, George and Janet Matthews with 10, Nate with 12, Mike and Sarah with 12, and Mike and Jennifer with 13. And then on new riders, we've got some ties going on down here too. Mike and Sarah Pappas with 1, Mike and Jennifer Colburn with 1, George and Janet Matthews with 1, Scott Summers with 2, and Nate's taken first with, or tied with Scott Summers as well with 2.
I know you can't unsee it. It is hard. You can't unsee it once you see the ties, and then you have to just, we want to, right? Celebration, Meredith. Some of us don't need as much celebration, and we're good to kind of pause, and we want to celebrate. We want to be intentional about that. So no harm, no foul to slow down and celebrate extra people.
Awesome.
In this case, it's not extra. They earned it. It's all good. All right. How about we got some executive vice presidents for APV? We've got Darren Stubbs, Sean Shannon, and Scott Menk. We've got for Ready to Writers, Sean Shannon, Darren Stubbs, Scott Menk, and we've got Miranda Martin and Stubbs tied for new writers, and Sean Shannon and Scott Menk coming out for the turkey. Ding, ding, ding. Good job, Scott Menk Tank. Associate partner, Carl Miller, who we'll hear from in a minute, Ashley and Tyler Harris, and Ryan and Michelle Miller. At the top of APV, we've got Kyle and Lisa Kimbrell with 17 Ready to Writers, Ryan and Michelle Miller with 21, Ashley and Tyler Harris with 24. You go, Harris's. And Ryan and Michelle Miller, Kyle and Lisa Kimbrell, and Ashley and Tyler Harris at 7 new writers. We're going on to senior partners. Why don't you pick it up there, Ditson?
Got the Smith Agency and Mr. Young. And then RTWs, we've got Smith Agency, Mr. Young, new writers, Smith Agency, and Danny Young.
It's
Is
great.
what it is.
Smith, Danny. All right. And managing partners, we've got, there's some, all right. I was looking at the symmetry here. We've got Jacob Pogue and Edward Pritchett topping the million mark, and Marshall Whalen coming out at 1.3 for the week. That's got to be pretty mind-blowing week after week after week to top that $1 million mark. Outstanding. And for Ready to Writers, Jacob Pogue, Edward Pritchett, Marshall Whalen. And for new writers, Edward Pritchett, Jacob Pogue, Marshall Whalen. Great to see everybody up there. And don't look like no Kevin Purdy there. Just saying, boom, caught it. All right. Go ahead for the direct, Stetson.
All right, we got Jacob Pogue, 183, 733, Carl Miller, and Scott Mink. Ready to write, we have Danny Young, Marshall Whalen, Jacob Pogue. Great job. And then for new writers, we've got a little bit of a tie here as well. So we've got Robert Puckett and Kevin Purdy, then Scott Mink and Jamie Susie with 10.
Let's go. Bass shop. It's all about that bass shop. No treble. Marty Valor, Carl Miller, JPV coming in swole. Rob Puckett, Mark Newbauer tied at number 2. So I got to pull up Mr. Dave Alvarado with 6 and JPV for Ready to Writers. And Jamie Susie at the top of that list. And again, I keep having to move my screen to get like if there's one extra thing all the way over to the right. But we got JPV and James Larson tied for 3rd, Rob Puckett and Jamie Susie at the top. Well, that wasn't bad.
Well done, you two. Well done. If you asked me to do that, would be the hardest thing I did all month. I could not do that. That was well done.
Well, thank you. I mean, all things considered, with the tee up, I'm feeling good about where we're at. So, yeah. All right,
I'd be really proud, Brandon. They'd be really proud right now.
Good. Really grateful. So, leads, right? One of the 4 areas that under the Time to Rally banner, making sure that production, right? You need leads for production. So, if you're looking to increase your leads, we want you to add the following states to your SALO. That sounds like a song, like your SALO, your SALO. Isn't that a Beyonce song, or is that Halo?
It's in fact, it's not.
It's not. Okay, not something. All right. So, but you could add all these states: Florida, Texas, Georgia, Colorado, Michigan, Virginia, California, Missouri, Kentucky, North Carolina, Minnesota, Indiana, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Ohio, New Jersey, Washington, or Tennessee. All the yellow states, or you could just screenshot it so you could actually remember it. Right? That's an option.
It is listed in order of inventory potential, just so you know.
Is it? That's right. I missed that.
Fine print.
I missed that. That's what happened when your mind is just flying too fast. You miss things. So there you go. That's a good the sales ops guy pointing that out. There you go. Rocket. Leads are important. SALO is cool. I like SALO. But man, do we have some leaderboard updates. Look at this fancy, awesome producer leaderboards for these exclusive experiences that we're running right now. Look who's at the top of all these. We're not going to even read all the names. We might not read any names. I'll tell you where my mind is drawn, Ditson, is to Nevis, West Indies, Interlaken, Switzerland, Lausanne, Switzerland. My goodness. So we are running some really cool stuff. What's that?
I said, there's some folks going on trips.
There's some folks going on trips, right? So you can see the dates at the bottom, what's reflected to, but man, we got some tight races there. Keep going. Any comments from the sales ops guy over there on these contests?
What we do want to do is we're going to make sure that we run these every single month. We've connected with every carrier. They're going to give us these updates monthly, so we can keep it in your face so you know right where you sit and you can run for it, because we want you to experience these fantastic trips. Once again, these were designed only for Symmetry. This is not a carrier incentive trip. As you've seen, these carriers are kind of going away from that, but for you all, they've created these special experiences with the founders, and I'm excited to see who wins this thing.
Yeah. Meredith, I bet you're going to be on one or more or all of those trips.
I have to be on all 3.
That's awesome. Very fun. Very fun. Great. Well, we're excited about all the contests we're running. We're excited about conference. Meredith, Engage 2023. I loved what you said earlier, just sometimes just starting out. There's probably people on this call for the first time joining us that are not quite fully in the loop about conference, but I will tell you, I'm going to boast on our teams, right? Like, we know how to pull off a conference. And I was at a big conference recently, like twice the size of a Symmetry conference. And I will tell you that our conference slays it. I mean, it's just, both my daughters keep texting me back stuff if we're texting, and they're like, slay. Like slay. I'm like, all right, whatever, that sounds
all
good.
Right. So. Yeah, I'm so excited for it. I'm even bringing my parents. My kids are coming this year. And, it's funny, every year I leave and it's like, I think we do them just as much for us as anybody, and so it never washes over you, the power of conference, no matter what stage you're at in this business. And that's what's so cool is it doesn't matter if you're brand new or if you've been here for 15 years, you'll walk away with your vision bigger, your commitment stronger, and how to engage more. And so I know you think we might talk about it too much. We can't talk about it enough. We talked about communication in the minute, like this is where it starts. And so, some of you might be like, oh, I'm going to get that done. I just need to, I'll get that done. Of course, I'm going to conference. Like it helps to go ahead and register now. It makes a difference for our team. They're working hard, but, create a little ripple today for you and the team to just get it done. Just get it done, put it at the side of the desk, and know you're there and to start talking about it. There's no better way to if you want to build a team, you can talk to someone about building a team or to come on board with Quility or with Symmetry, or you could just invite them and let it no one's going to come to conference and not want to give this a shot. And if they don't, you'd rather know that now than waste 6 months with them, so it just invite them. You're going to sit there and you're going to be wishing you had brought more people. Yeah. I've never heard one son not say that. So, and I think we've even got an exciting announcement today on some guests we're to have there.
It's coming. I'm excited for you to share, especially about the 1-2, but 100, right? Big commitments and big things happen at conference, at big events. And, sometimes, we talk about belief in this business and you need to have that fundamental belief. And for some of you, you have belief and you just need courage to act on that belief, right? The courage to actually start being more of an evangelist for conference, because as Brandon likes to always point out, and Casey, right? You're looking at $50,000 a month potentially for every 10 people that you bring to conference. So either way, when you think about a return on investment, this is a return on investment that's going to be worth your while, 100%. So owners pack tickets still available through May 31st at 10 tickets for $18.99. It's going to go up after that. So you can see there, be careful to get that before the 31st.
That's next week, team. Next week is May 31st.
Hard to believe. It is crazy. It is crazy. And I had a great conversation with I'm going to call him like our new friend, Jim Lair. And for those of you that haven't heard, if you're new, we are privileged to have the author of the book you'll know the best is The Power of Full Engagement. He's written an insane number of books. He is, just so y'all know, he's 80 years old now, 80. He's arguably the leading performance psychologist in the world, at least even in his early days of research, very pioneering, cutting edge research around energy management and human performance. I just want you to know, Meredith and Ditson too, I had a conversation with our team and Jim this week, and he gave me homework, which I delivered to him the same afternoon. He said, I really want to go deeper in understanding your organization. I'm cooking up something in the kitchen that's custom and unique. So
and what a beautiful example of that it works. Like his energy management is obviously working for him. He's 80, excited, digging in, not just, I'll just pull out a script I used 2 years ago. Like I want fresh and new content. So what a beautiful example. He
models it, and he's such a positive influencer. He fits right in. He's one of us in a lot of ways. So we're excited to have him, and we're super excited today to announce a new keynote speaker, Cassandra Worthy. And man, I want to make a few comments, but Meredith, feel free. I know we're both super pumped about Cassandra and what she brings. You want to share anything?
I'm really excited about her message around, change enthusiasm, and I think for us, to fully, engage, understanding change enthusiasm, what's going to get us to that next step, and so, we've talked a lot over the years about growth mindset, but she's going to tap in right into that core value of that relentless pursuit of personal growth. But you can just can't you just feel her energy right here? Just her picture. It's just like, you can see the energy she's going to bring to the stage. I just am very, very excited to just sit and to soak her in on conference. So you're not going to want to miss her.
Absolutely. And by the way, this was not a, hey, what's a good speaker that we could get that's out there? Oh, we found Cassandra. One of the things that drew us to Cassandra's message just about change, right? We are an organization that we are a proponent of evolution, meaning we're taking little step-by-step changes, micro habits and steps. We're a proponent of evolution, but we're also proponents of revolution. And we're proponents of revolutionizing an industry. We're proponents of revolutionizing platforms so that your work as an agent and a builder can be efficient and effective. For those reasons, her message about change, we're want to prep your mind, because she's going to focus a lot on what does it mean for me to change? How do I embrace change in a way that is healthy and thriving and resilient? So I think she's going to disrupt us all in a lot of great ways with that message. So super pumped to have Cassandra with us as well. So
yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
And the women's, go ahead.
Yeah.
This is all you. I know.
No.
It's not all you. But
No, just wanted to just remind everyone we are going to have a women's only event, or Women's Plus Empowerment event, the day before on Wednesday. So when you're booking flights, come in that morning or the day before, because you're not going to want to miss Vanessa. I've listened to her book and re-listening to it, and it's reminding me of exactly why I was adamant that we had to have her on stage. So and this is also, it is open. It's not, just women, but it will be focused on women. I think it's important that we understand that. And so even if your partner is maybe not in the business, but this might be something that might really resonate with them. So please sign up. It is $35, but you will get a book. Her book will be there. She'll be there to sign some copies. I just think, you're not going to want to miss it. But we do need registrations in, because we have limited seating, and we want to make sure we can get everyone that wants to be in the room. So please sign up.
Yeah. And just a little bit about Vanessa's bio, in case you're looking at this, like this slide looks all bright and cheery and positive, which rightfully so. It has all the feels to it. I'm just going to read to you, like on her website, she's like, after working on Wall Street, I got a Stanford MBA and was a successful investor in Silicon Valley. I climbed to the top of the ladder only to realize, crap, wrong ladder. She is very competent and very experienced. And I think her business acumen and what she brings is going to be a lot of fun to hear. So yeah, it's
going to be awesome.
Yeah. All right. All right. I'm going to do a last call, if you will, over the next few days here for Agency Owner Academy, which it's funny, actually, Carl, I was talking to Carl, he's like, yeah, I wasn't sure if I got this communication on purpose or on accident, because I'm the top contract and so on. We are opening Agency Owner Academy just because we have more room right now to anyone. We're going to call it AO plus, all the way to the top. If you're an AO, an AD, a RAD, a 130, it doesn't matter what level, vice president, managing vice president. If you want to come on site for some fresh learning, I think we're even sending out the full agenda so that you can see it. You are more than welcome. The deadline is May 26th. So this is one of those, go to HQ, you'll find a place to register, or you should have received an email, check your spam. We'd love to have you join us, just because, again, when there's room, we want to make sure we can pack it out as much as possible for the benefit of everybody there, for association and for ongoing learning and training. So you've got to be an AO or above to attend, but we're excited to host you this year. Super valuable time. Resman team are putting on some awesome new content. Danielle's a part of that, and others, even new team members I'm sure you're going to meet, which we're excited about, and love to see you there. And man, can you say hashtag 1,100 people showed up last week for the deep dive with the sales experts? And I am not surprised. The work that this team, all three of these individuals on the screen, have been doing. I got to spend some time on site last week with Sean Lyons. Of course, Spivey and Ditson and I get plenty of time, but Sean isn't always in Nashville when I'm there. So we got the privilege of just talking and hearing all the things he's going super deep on as it relates to switchboard training, Ditz, and all the work you've been doing behind the scenes on just serving up agents, great, product information, all the things they need on lead types. And so we're super pumped for this. Anything that you want to mention for the Thursday call at 11?
Yeah, I think it's key that if you can make it, find the time, create the time to get yourself, get your team on this call. And this is going to continue for the next couple weeks. Some of it is really getting back to the basics and even the basics of setup. Because what we've seen and we've identified, right, to be successful, you have to set yourself up correctly. That foundation's got to be set. And we see a lot of agents that are absolutely busting their butt, but because of improper basic setup, they're not getting the engagement they truly could be getting. So please jump on this call, join us. We'll try to make it as fun and exciting as possible. Some of it, right, I feel like it'd be dry, but it's important, all important information. We want you to be able to get the most out of every opportunity you have and engage with those clients we're trying to reach.
Rock on. All right, man, we got a lot to cover still. I'm going to be real brief on this one, guys. So we launch coaching groups that are very intentional for specific phases of your summit journey. And we've got one coming up that launches on May 30th. And this one's really targeting new agents or any newer agents that just want to improve your sales skills if you've not been around for too long. So the thing I'm going to tell you right now, this one, man, we've done some analysis on this. The results are there. Great feedback about Justin Finney and his work with us. And so go to HQ under training, Symmetry Coaching, and you'll be able to connect up with this opportunity. Very affordable. Normally it's like $499 if you're outside of Symmetry. Justin's an all-star, does a lot of great work with us. And the cost is just beyond, the value is incalculable compared to that cost. So check that out in HQ. Now, real quick, I want to give you an update from the marketing team on MyQuality. Okay. So you've heard us talk about MyQuality. If you were at the Leader Summit, we talked about it a little bit. Just to get everybody prepped, there are some big changes on the horizon here. Our internal team's been hard at work with the MyQuality providers to really do a couple things to improve the functionality of the platform, to simplify the process, and really hone in on the value proposition. How do we deliver the most value, honestly, to you as an agent, and also the client member services, that platform that this is. And what's cool is, as you can see in this last bullet point, the offerings and discounts are being tailored as a benefit to you as an agent. So you're going to be able to get more discounts when you're engaging with the platform. It'll be kind of slated your way. The first update is MyQuality 2.0 website is going to be rolled out early in June. It's going to be hosted by our discount provider partner. It's going to have a more seamless experience, dedicated customer service team, and a mobile app that'll come later this year. I was processing this with Joe the other day. Really exciting stuff coming down the horizon on what they're visioning there. When the new website launches, this is a little bit of I know, one of those tech steps you're just going to have to take. You're going to have to register again. So you'll get an email, you'll get out new information when we get closer to it, but just a heads up. So if you go to log in one day and you're like, whoa, what's up? You're going to have to register again for the platform. Secondly, we're getting bigger discounts, and instead of points awarded on travel purchases, you're going to get the entire discount when you book your trip. So if you're new, you're asking what's all the points about and all that. I don't know about you, but sometimes I log into an app, especially some of these hotel apps, and it's like you have 4,030, 328 points. And I've had like thousands of points for years, but it's never enough even to get one night in a room, that kind of thing. Well, we had a vision for the point system, but as the team evaluated the platform, the idea is like, hey, you're going to be able to get a very hefty, noticeable discount on the purchase of the trip. And when you get there, you'll be like, slay, as my daughter would say. It's going to be pretty awesome. But all current MyQuality points are going to be paid out to you by mid-July. And if you are a MyQuality credit card holder, you will continue to accrue points, and you'll get an email update next week on the details of that. So that's the MyQuility update. Upcoming events. We talked about the deep dive with the sales experts. We've got FIF resets call, man, super important stuff. Jeff Sigworth's doing. Look at all the DFL call, FIF reset, and advanced market webinar coming up. Again, hashtag massive passive income just from taking a couple steps on these calls, and or in a different way, getting into the advanced market space if that's your best next step. Finally, final slide. We're coming for you, Carl Miller. Let's try saying that one fast. We're coming for you, Carl Miller. The power of a decided mind, the Ripple model. Conversation with Meredith and Ashley Richard. And Meredith, any comments on this? It sounds amazing.
Tomorrow it will be, and I'm really looking forward to just going deeper. We had Ashley on the money month, and people just wanted more. So tomorrow will be more, and looking forward to having that conversation with her.
Nice. Yeah, gosh, lots of quite a story there. We all get to build our story, right? Which is a lot of fun. So super excited. Okay. Carl and team, you all have been super patient, and we're grateful for you. And we want you to get the time and space that you need here to share with us. So you're talking about leading from the front. There is a leader. I saw this quote that talked about leaders who don't listen will be soon surrounded by people who don't speak. And what I wanted to say about you, first of all, you were, at least verbally, the first person that I heard when we cast a vision for Time to Rally from Now to Conference that said, I'm in, I'm going back in the field, and I'm in. And what strikes me about that is just you do listen. You know, you are a listener. I've said this for about the last year about you, you know, in our personal conversations. And of course, Carl and I used to work together even before my Quility role. And you know, Carl, you've just done so well. Sometimes it's hard to listen without being defensive, and you've done well at listening, taking feedback, growing as a leader. And I think your business is showing that. And the people that you have on today, including Mr. Grant Lieber, who is just crushing it right now. It's so fun to see Grant in action. I know Grant, so I don't know your other crew as much, but I know they're awesome from our conversation yesterday. So we're excited to hear from you, listen to you guys share about what it means to lead from the front. So over to you, sir. Have at it.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Meredith and Jason, for letting me come on here. But first and foremost, my name's Carl Miller. I was hired on here by my brother Ryan and my sister Michelle Miller, and then we're all part of the Rob Puckett, Marshall Whalen family, and certainly grateful. And I'd be remiss, especially since I have one of the founders on the line with me, if I didn't thank Brandon, Casey, Brian, and Meredith for y'all's sacrifice, because like if y'all didn't make the sacrifices that you did, there's no way that any of us would be here. And so it's just a good reminder to make sure I pay respect to you guys. And I've got some incredible people on the line with me. And real quick, the Christmas tree, baby, every day is a gift. Just want to get that out there. So this way, responding to the message, every day is a gift, and it's a reminder of it. So I know I'm a little short on time, Brian, and I really just want to dive into these leaders and these just giants, in my opinion, that I brought on here. And the first person that I want to introduce to everybody, he began his career here in April of 2022. He only wrote 2 apps in his first month, and then he wrote 1 in his second month. But by the 3rd month, he wrote 13. Right, he caught it. The month after conference, he ended up helping 18 families, and then in the fall, after last conference, he worked himself into a recruiting co-op with his mentor Josh Hershey, and he actually ended up pushing himself to the key leader retreat. He barely made it, Brian, because of that last minute push to get there, and he did it. And now he's on the cusp of an agency owner run. And to say that you're building an agency is one thing, but then he's leading from the front. Here's how, everybody. Last month, he wrote 20 apps for 24K. And this month he's looking right now, because we still have another week, this week left. It's looking like he's going to supersede that. So to just be flat out frank with everybody, This man is the living example of what it means to work the Symmetry system. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce everybody to key leader, Travis Lloyd. You out there, brother?
Yeah. Hey, Carl, can you hear me?
Yeah, brother, I can hear you loud and clear. Now, Travis, just the title of the call. Why lead from the front?
Yeah, what a great question. And I want to do my due diligence and just, do a proper introduction. And, my upline is Josh and Danielle Hershey, Miller, Puckett, Wayland, right? And I'm just so thankful for my uplines because I couldn't be where I am today without you guys. And so the question, why lead from the front? I'm going to use 3 words, right? Freedom, trust, and legacy. And so I need to frame these words up a little bit for you. So I need to tell you just a little bit about my backstory before I jump into them, right? So before Symmetry, I was a teacher. I taught special education reading for 10 years. And I loved every minute of it. I loved it, right? But I was only able to stash away a few $100 a month on a good month, right? But that was fine. I was a teacher, right? Then came COVID, then left COVID, right? Things went up. My bills went up. But because I think it's important to let your yes be yes and let your no be no, I said, hey, I'm going to finish out this year teaching, even though it's costing me, right? Because my bills went over what my income was, right? So fast forward, as I'm finishing my year up, right, I get my license. And that's, Carl, when you see the 2 apps and the 3 apps, and then you see, oh, there's a big spike, right? Because I planted my flag. And I say, when I planted my flag, it's this. I bought my conference ticket, right? Josh told me buy that. But I planted my flag and I said in June, I'm going all out. I'm going all out, right? And so freedom for me, right, was financial freedom just out of the gate, right? I knew that I was jumping in with both feet, and I knew I'd been struggling to pay my bills, and I went all in, right? In my first month as an agent, I was actually able to make 2 months' salary as a teacher. And it wasn't because I was good. It was because I put my head down, I listened to my upline, and I followed the Symmetry system. And everybody comes in here for that financial freedom, right? But I put that first because now it's the least important thing to me, right? I also now have professional freedom. So why do I lead from the front? I came from a job where I had to be there at a certain time. I had to stay late. People told me when to start. People told me when to stop. I was even so micromanaged to the fact that where if I had all my stuff covered and I had a teacher come cover me, I needed to check out with my boss, right? Even if everything was fine. And that just drove me crazy. Has anyone in here ever been told no on a day off that you really wanted to go do something with your family? Yeah, that was me, right? That never happens now, right? Why? Because I own my own business. I have professional freedom. And Carl, this is probably the most dear freedom portion for me is personal freedom. Me and my wife, it is so important to us that we get to homeschool our kids. And because of Symmetry, my wife gets to stay home and homeschool our kids. Do we have to make some sacrifices? Because I'm still in the dog fight, right? This is a fight. It's a fun fight, right? But she gets to stay home because of Symmetry, right? I get to have dinner with my family every single day from 5 to 6, right? I get to sit there and teach them, eat with them, listen to them laugh, tell them no 100 times, right? Because my kids are 2 and 4, but I love every minute of it. And you know what a reward is for me? Because of Symmetry, you only need a phone and internet, right? And a computer. I decided this summer, I'm going to do my business at the lake. So April, I moved out to a lake. I have the 3 things I need. I've been running my business successfully, more successfully ever in the last 2 months from the lake, right? You can do that too, right? If you want, you can do this business wherever you want to do it. And so moving on to the second word, trust. And this is mainly for my team. This business moves at the speed of trust, right? I don't want to tell my agents, do as I say, but I want to tell them, do as I do, right? I want them to say, hey, I know this works because I did it. If you want to write $20,000 a month consistently, hey, just jump behind me. Here is my activity. Here's my lead flow. Here's my schedule. And you don't have to do it, but if you want this, just jump behind me. And that's what I'm grateful for, even with like Josh, where I'm in the recruiting co-op. He's like, just jump behind me, right? I'm following him. People are following me. So much easier when people are following you. And lastly, and this is the most important word, is when I'm thinking of legacy, I'm not even thinking of my kids. I'm thinking of my kids' kids, right? I'm thinking of me being a grandpa. I want to build something that can last for forever. So why lead from the front? Because that's how you build something here that lasts for forever. I want my kids' kids to be like, hey, that's Grandpa Lloyd's, Grandpa Travis's tree he planted, right? And it could be the symmetry of handing them the business, but it could be a literal tree. I planted that oak tree 50 years ago, right? Because I'm giving them land that they own, right? Grandpa started this business in 2022, right? It'll be a date for them to remember and a story that they can tell, right? And just a side note, hey, me and my wife want to hopefully start a school someday. Symmetry is a vehicle to make dreams happen, right? And I'm going to pause right here. And lastly, I'm so glad that I get to go first because we have some heavy hitters coming. Hey, thank you, Carl. Thank you, Symmetry. Just thank you, Josh, Danielle. I shouldn't have started thanking anyone, right? Because I'm going to miss people, but just glad to be here. Glad to get to speak. Hope one took one thing away.
Travis, I love it, brother. I love the message of all in. I love the message of, hey, you want to learn how to do this? Here's the schedule. Here's the amount of leads we need. Follow me, right? Not do what I say, do what I do. And I love that about you, brother. Thank you for coming on, man. All right, so the next champion that I'm bringing on here, man, she's been here since July of 2020. She came in, she started fast. Right away, she had some success. In her first year, she earned the title of top producer. And something that takes a little bit of time to get used to is balancing the producer builder schedule. And she has literally mastered that since she started putting her team together. She is a key leader right now, and unofficially, she qualified for agency owner at the end of April, but it wasn't just your normal run. When I say this, everybody, we thought that she hit in March. And so when everything came to the surface near the end of April, we figured out that January was not a qualifying month. So we had a conversation about it, and there was somewhere between 7 and 10 days left in April for her to do what she could. And, you know, I'd like you to go ahead and unmute Shauna, key leader Shauna Berrigan, and come on here, because like we had a conversation, you and I, and you know, you never know how somebody's going to handle something like that. You know, you've been working your butt off, right, for 3 years. You can taste it, you can see it, and then we're almost there. And that was the sense that I got from you. Like, you never stopped to lick your wounds. You know, you looked at what was, and then you went into attack mode. So what I want you to do, and Shauna, I mean, talk about production. You could easily be an elite producer. You've produced more than 40,000 in multiple months, and you continue to be the example of follow me. So Shauna, I want you to pour into us, dude, and kind of pick it up where I left off.
First of all, woo! I made AO. This is it. And I know it's unofficial, but this is I get to do this. I get to be this excited at this moment. And until I hear, I know. But because like you said, Carl, there's a story behind this. And before I dive into that, everybody, I'm Shauna Berrigan. I'm direct to Alec Myers in the Myers, Lieber, Hershey, Miller, Puckett, Wayland hierarchy. So you guys, this was a journey for me. And this was one of those moments, you know, when we talk about leading from the front, I didn't even intentionally realize that I was. And I know I want to tell this story, like Carl said, I got to, I've been running. I want to make AO. I want to make AO. And I know this is our first stepping stone in that, upper in the big leagues here. I'm moving up from my, AAA farm team. I'm hitting the big leagues. I want to make it, right. And I thought that I did. And we were going for January, February, March to be my 3 months. And at the end of March, I'm like, I'm good. I got this. And everybody thought, we got this. And one day, the end of March, the end of March comes around and I'm in an appointment. I'm in my Zoom room. Okay. I want you guys to fully be in this moment with me. I'm in my Zoom room. I've got agents in there. I've got my best friend, Natasha, that I work with every day in my room. We're in my room. And I'm running an appointment and I get a call from Carl. And so I don't think anything about it, but the text message that Carl leaves, because I don't answer, I'm with the family, I don't answer. The text message Carl leaves says, hey, give me a call when you can. And I'm like, my heart sank because I'm expecting that Carl's calling me to say, you made AO, congratulations, and we're going to be excited. And that moment, I see the message when I get done with the appointment and my heart sinks. And I'm in my room and I'm like, you guys, Carl just called. And everyone's like, well, he's probably going to congratulate you, go call him. And I'm like, no, I'm going to go outside. So I go outside because my heart sank. I knew it wasn't Carl saying like, hey, dude, got some exciting news, give me a call. It was, hey, give me a call when you can. So I go outside and I call Carl and he explains to me that, there was in January that my numbers didn't actually hit. Okay. There were some chargebacks I didn't really notice or we didn't really pick up on. And so technically I didn't make AO. And of course, my heart's in my stomach and I am sitting there feeling so much at that moment. I'm feeling frustrated. I'm upset. I'm thinking about all these things. And Carl's like, you killed it for February and you killed it for March. Now we're in April. So, as long as your numbers are good for April. And I'm thinking, we're on the last week. We're on the last week of April. I thought that I already hit it. Not that I'm slowed down, right? But I just wasn't being as hard on myself. I wasn't driving because I thought I hit it. Now I'm just going to keep my momentum going and keep that consistency, right?
And one thing I'm going to tell you is that this conversation didn't last but 3 or 4 minutes, and you were very quiet. But then at the end of it, you told me what?
I said, I got to go.
I got to go.
Like, are
you
you okay?
AO. Now talk to us about how.
So I tell Carl, I got to go. We're on the last week. I got to go. I got to see where we're at because now I'm thinking all this energy, right? Now I've got all this energy and I'm at this moment where just like Kyle had talked about on the builder call before, you can't use a temporary feeling to make a permanent decision. I had one decision to make at that moment. And Carl's asking me if I'm okay. And I'm like, I don't even have time to talk about that, Carl. I got to go. Because now I have less than a week. I got to make this happen. So immediately I go back into my office. I sit down and I told everybody in the room, I'm like, okay, guys, I got to work on some stuff. I got to get my spreadsheets out. I got to see my tracking. I got to start looking at numbers. And of course, everybody's like, what's going on? And I bring up the numbers and I have one agent in there and she goes, Shauna, what are we going to do? And I'm like, we're going to make this happen is what we're going to do. I don't have time to go around. I don't have time to do this again. Okay. I got to look at this storm that's in front of me right now. And I got to go straight through it at this point because I don't have the time to do it any other way. I got to make this happen. And she goes, what do you want me to do? What can I do? And I, at that moment, not even realizing that all this stuff is happening, that I am right at that moment, I am in the trenches with my team. I am leading from the front and I don't realize it, right? I looked at her and I said, you're going to do what you did yesterday, last week, last month. You're going to continue to do what you're going to do. And you're just going to do you. Okay. I want you to stay on your path. I want you to reach your goal. And she's like, but we need to make your numbers count. And I said, it's okay, because if you reach your goal, then I'm going to reach mine. Okay. My numbers, my team, that's for me to worry about. So let me worry about that. You stay on your path. And she did. She nailed it. We got back on the phone. We did dials. We dialed harder that week, I think, than we ever have. I made as many appointments. I followed up on business. I started looking at my numbers. And at that point, when I brought up the spreadsheets, we were only at 28,000 issued, and I'm on the last week. That's it. I'm at 28,000. That was issued. That was for sure issued. And I had the rest of that week to make it over my 30,000 for this to be my third qualifying month. But I'm still not accounting for the fact that there could be stuff that fell off that I could have chargebacks on there.
Shauna,
right?
Shauna, one point I want to tell you right here is that you had nothing to worry about. And the reason you had nothing to worry about is because you've always led from the front. You've always worked consistently, and you've always had consistent results because of the way you work. And now you have a running buddy. You have a team of people to do this with. So it makes it special when you're doing something that's bigger than something that's bigger than you, right?
Right.
This is for everybody. This is everybody's result. Thank you, dude. Thank you for your example. Yeah, and I know I cut you off. Is there a parting nugget that you wanted to give everybody?
Absolutely. So you guys, the reason that I was able to do that, the reason that I was able to go ahead and get my issued numbers where they were supposed to be is because I was just doing the same thing that I've always done, the same thing that I did, the consistency that I've done. My team did the consistency that they've always done. When I looked at my spreadsheets, yes, we're on track. And I know from what we had that was issued but not paid out yet, we were going to be okay. I immediately took a sigh of relief, and I did exactly what my mentor, my upline, has shown me that to do. You write business, you do the same thing that you did last month. That's what you're going to do. That's how you overcome that obstacle, is you just do the same thing that you've been doing and you stay consistent. So at that moment, I knew I had nothing to worry about. And that's what I did. So my team and I, we pulled it, we got it. And unofficially, I should be hearing soon that I've reached it. So I'm excited.
And I got permission from Brandon and Casey to talk this story on here. And Shauna, thank you for who you are. Like, you inspire me, dude. I want you to know that. You're just one of those people that does, and I'm grateful to be able to run in this thing with you, man. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, I have one more guest, everybody. There he is, my man. And I'm just gonna, man, I want to give you a proper introduction too, Grant, because it feels like we've been running at this thing for a while together. And Grant started in July of 2016. He has built a $2.5 million agency, an agency that's running. Actually, I think you're running closer to 3 million. He doesn't have to be in the field. I can tell you guys that. Okay, but he has been leading his agency from the front, meaning he wrote 31K in April. He's already, at the beginning of this week, he was already at 30, probably going to do a 40K month again, Grant. And it's been ever since you made that decision. Here's the thing, dude, you add value to the entire organization, not just my organization. You add to the company, and you're a trusted business partner. You're a brother. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce Regional Agency Director Grant Lieber, who doesn't have to be in the field, but he is in the field to lead from the front. And I want you to talk about the value of that, brother.
Well, thank you, Carl. I really appreciate it. And Grant Lieber, directed Josh and Danielle Hershey, just as Travis is part of this awesome Miller Puckett Whalen organization. And, just really thinking about this journey. Carl, we were talking about this the other day. I thought about when I was in high school and I was playing soccer. And I always thought there was the coach that I had this kind of default respect for because he knew exactly what he was doing. He led me down the right path. But the person that I was always chasing was the team captain. And I just kind of thought about that team captain. And, in this business, how do I become that person? Because I want to be the example that other people are chasing, but also can learn from, because the team captain serves really in a coaching, role. And so when I thought about like just getting involved with being in the field, it goes back to when I first hit agency owner in August of 2018. I thought that I had made it. I hit the point where we were doing 50, 60, $70,000 a month. And you know what I did? I completely pulled out. I stopped writing business. I took the captain hat, took the captain sleeve off, and I put my my coaching hat on. But the thing is, I wasn't there yet. I hadn't earned it. And there was a lot of detrimental things that happened as a result of getting out of the field too early. One of those things was lack of financial resources, because I was entirely reliant off of overrides to pay my bills when we didn't have a big enough organization yet. The second thing is that I was in a position where people didn't necessarily see me with the same degree of credibility. And then the other piece of it is like, I just kind of lost a little bit of that dog in me. Like, I wasn't a foxhole buddy with other people. We weren't in the trenches together. And so when I think back to really, 6-7 months ago, we saw the digital leads come out. We saw a more streamlined path to be able to run our business from all sides, where we can do not only the personal production, but the building and the mentoring of our agents. And I just use that kind of platform to really encourage me to get started. And, having spent these last 6 months doing consistent production, the finances have looked completely different and have allowed me to do some really cool things as it pertains to other pieces of the business. The way that I'm able to really work within my base shop and bring on those next wave of successful people has completely changed for the positive, because now they're watching me do it and they're asking for advice. Like when you're not in the field, people aren't reaching out to you and asking you like, hey, can you help me figure out my switchboard? Or can you help me figure out how to be more effective here? Like, now I have so much more credibility over people on the team because I can do those things. And then kind of the last piece there is just that, like, I'm always having something to run towards. I'm either running towards helping a client, I'm either running towards finishing an interview to bring on somebody new, or I'm running towards helping an agent be successful. And like, one thing that's been really special for me in this journey, Carl, and just like, you talk about leading from the front, is just that I'm able to be there for everything and just kind of be a person that I feel I would want to follow if I were in my role and they were reversed.
Good, brother. Yeah, I love that, man. You're it, buddy. You're about it. That's who Grant Lieber is. He's about it. Everybody, I got to tell you something. I heard Brandon. I heard Casey loud and clear. Some things that I heard, they want to count on us. He asked me, I felt like Brandon was asking me last week, Carl, can I count on you? The answer is yes, absolutely. You know what? I got on the phones last week, everybody. I dialed B3, B5 leads. Why? Because my mentor told me to. That's why. I got on there because I need to, as Casey said, I can afford to pay somebody to cut my lawn, but every now and then I need to mow my lawn. I need to do that, everybody. Why? Because I'm looking for an agency owner. And if I'm looking for another agency owner, I've got to be able to model the routine. They need a routine to come into right now. And who best to model it other than me? So yeah, hey, I'm back in the field, Brian. I'm full-time in the field. Listen, I've got a 4-day schedule for it, everybody. I've got an exact plan. I've got an exact lead flow, and it's going to work because it always works. It's rinse, lather, repeat. And I can't wait to get on the phones right after this call. That's where I'm heading, in a Zoom dial room. So thank you for the leaders that came on here with me. Brian, I know, dude, I think I was a minute or so over, but
Oh, dude, you
I
crushed
love
it.
this company, man. I love you. Thank you.
Oh man, Grant, bro, you've been just an amazing example from a distance. We've all been watching, and it just seeing you re-engage and level up, and so good. And all of you, so appreciate Shauna and Travis. Looking forward to meeting you at AOA, Shauna. Hopefully you just got an invite in your inbox, so hopefully we get to see you there. If not, we'll get you on the next one. Man, super pumped. Carl, thank you so much for all the value. Chat is off the charts, both from the builders and from you guys. So super grateful. Let's go out and do it, everybody. Have a great rest of your week, and let's lead from the front.
Heck yeah. Thank you,
Cheers.
guys.
Take care, all.